Okay. वामज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकथा मह्यं ददति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुश्रीयुतपदकमलान् श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतपरिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna everyone. I welcome you all to our systematic study of Vedic scriptures. In that, in Bhagavad Gita chapter 16, we are going through a very important um, shlokas. These are about the 26 qualities or the transcendental divine qualities which Lord Krishna is telling to Arjuna um, as part of this divine and demonic natures, the chapter entitled. In that, let me know. I'm sharing the screen so that we go through that. And let me know if you see the screen.
Yes, Prabhuji, we can see.
Okay. So, Shri Bhagavan Vacha Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhir Jnanam Yoga Vyavasthitihi Dhanam Damascha Yagnascha Swadhyaya Taparjavam Ahimsa Satya Krodhas Tyagam Shantir Apaishunam Daya Bhuteshvalolupam Madhavam Hrir Achapalam Teja Kshama Dhriti Saucham Adroho Nati Manita Bhavanti Sampadam Daivim Abhijatasya Bharata. These are the qualities the Supreme Personality of Godhead said: fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self control, performance of sacrifice, study of Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and from the passion for honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. Last weeks we have spent a very brief time uh, learning about each of these qualities. And last week we covered about a very important quality, which is tejas. Mm. And if you read this part of the purport from uh, um, the whole section is mentioning about Tejas. The word Tejas used here is meant for the Kshatriyas. The Kshatriyas should always be very strong to be able to give protection to the weak. So this clearly identifies the role, the importance of Varnashrama system. Varnashrama system where the four orders of life in that Kshatriya play a very important role, and that important role is to give protection to the weak. How do we define this weakness? Is it's not about if one is financially weak. It's not about economic weakness. It's not about we are talking about spiritually weak. Hmm. What does that mean? If someone is spiritually weak, he can't see things properly. He becomes uh, a source of disturbance to the society. Mm. And other way to see this week is also uh, devotees are not so keen to fight against. Okay, they are very much focused to understand the higher purpose of life, and they do not want to get involved in all uh, mm, cursing, counter cursing, punishing, and all these things. It is the duty of kshatriyas who have to take and protect the weak people. Hmm? They should not pose themselves as non-violent. This is the importance of the role of Kshatriyas. Why? Because we are living in a material world, and the material world is full of we can see the material world is filled with the influences of modes of passion, ignorance, and goodness, and this obviously causes a disturbance to the humankind. We see so many people thinking that they are right, they cause inconvenience, and some people knowingly they are incorrect, they cause inconvenience in one way or the other. The one who is a devotee, one who is dharmic, one who is following the Vedic injunctions is always put in difficulties. And it is the rule of the uh, governing body to ensure that they give protection without compromise. And here, and the third line is mentioning actually if violence is required. mm, yeah, this is the need. One should very scrutinizingly understand if there is a need of violence. mm, They must exhibit it, but such a violence is approved, and in that way it also can be seen as a non-violence. Non-violence, I think we have already in this purport came across what is the real non-violence is uh, that not harming. Let me find exactly. Non, non, where we were talking about ahimsa, right? Violence. Okay. No, there is ahimsa. Ahimsa means not arresting the progressive life of any living entity. Yeah, that's the exact. So one should not think that since the spirit spark is never killed, even after killing the body, there is no harm in killing animals for sense gratification. Uh, Real ahimsa meant not checking anyone's progressive life. Mm. That in that context we see that ahimsa is to actually give protection, and kshatriya if he has to take a weapon. And in fact, this whole when Krishna is speaking to Arjuna. Uh, he is encouraging Arjuna to fight for establishing dharma. It is not that okay, you are in the right time now where everyone is seeing, and if you can kill everyone, this proves your greatness. So that's why you become famous. No, Krishna is not kind of encouraging Arjuna to fight so that he can become greatest warrior of mankind. No, he sees that to establish the dharma, which was affected by uh, uh, the influence of Duryodhana rule. So then I was seeing that this particular where we are talking about Kshatriya dharma, and then he says if violence is required, they must be exhibited. But a person who is able to curb down his enemy uh, may, under certain conditions, show forgiveness. I was thinking, let's spend some time to understand this today. When he may excuse minor offenses, this is second point. Uh, so forgiveness, mm, we can see here, means um, to let it go. Mm. And we need to understand when it can be let it go or when we should really take action. I don't know if that's an interesting topic, then we can discuss more in depth, or if any other ideas or suggestions, do let me know. We can accordingly plan. Uh, does it seem to be something interesting? Topic of forgiveness. Hmm. What do others say?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hmm.
Yes, Prabhuji. In this context, yeah, I came to know about one story of this great king Prithviraj Chauhan,
Mm-hmm.
who forgave 17 times
Mm-hmm.
this attacker, Muslim attacker called Muhammad Gori.
Mm-hmm.
On the 18th time, yeah, this Muhammad Gori came and
Killed.
took away the eyes of this Prithviraj Chauhan, and
That happened
everybody
in
was saying that it
Udaipur.
was very much ahimsa then required, and
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that happened in Udaipur in Rajasthan. And yeah, I was there. I was also, at the time I was a kid. So for me, I felt, okay, it's so great about the king, yeah, greatness of the king and the cruelty. Yeah. So yeah, that's very nice example. We can also discuss on that. Okay. I see anyone else, because this forgiveness has many dimensions. Yeah, usually we are
yes,
thinking forgiveness is something that nature, but we have to also understand in what circumstances to be silent, what circumstances to be not silent. And that reminds me of mm, mm, this wonderful pastime where this comes in Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah, we all
we all
know
know
Mahabharat
Mahabharata.
story, and in that, what happened is that there is this Ashwatthama, uh, Ashwatthama, um, in the pitch of night. He goes and he kills the sons of Pandavas. Everyone might know already. And yeah, this is very cruel act. Mm. Of course, yeah, if one is very much eager to win, they should fight according to dharma, and then they have to really establish uh, based on that to make sure that, yeah, at least, of course, how do we know if someone is on dharma? Mm. Isn't it a question to anyone here? Yeah. For example, if we are taking an example, a war, there is Kauravas, there is Pandavas. Pandavas, they are supporters, and also Kauravas, they are supporters, isn't it? Both have supporters. Similarly, for example, we talk about currently, if it is Russia, they are supporters, and Ukraine, they are supporters. So there is this two parties who are fighting. So we don't know, right? Okay, everyone is thinking I am right, and that's why they are fighting, uh, to prove themselves that I think from my point of view what I'm thinking is right. So let me fight. Let me prove myself. So Ashwatthama, if he is part of Kauravas, that is okay. Yeah, of course, his father was Dronacharya, who is also on side of Kauravas. Ashwatthama is a friend of Duryodhana. He is on the Kaurava side and he's fighting. But the Dharma Yuddha should be the basis. If one is fighting, they shouldn't move from the path of what is the right code of conduct of a Kshatriya, isn't it? Hmm. And then what happens here is that, yeah, when when we have a sense of, okay, that we might be losing, or oh no, uh, it's very cruel that my father is killed in the battle and I want to take vengeance. There is no room for vengeance in the battlefield. So, um, if we see carefully, Ashwatthama, his son of a Brahmana, Dronacharya, and yeah, of course, he took the path of a Kshatriya duty, where he, along with his father and others, they are in the battlefield. But where is the quality of a Brahmana? First he's a Brahmana, then he has become a supporter of his friend, mm, protect his nation. This is also what happens, right? When what happened in Ukraine when the war is broke, then yeah, very soon the head of the nation understands, hey, we don't have enough manpower. So then he doesn't see whether one is qualified what do you call, a soldier or not. Yeah, main thing is to just bring people, bring the patriotism so that they can, with that patriotism, they can fight, and they should fight, they should protect. Uh, so, yeah, when situations arise, one can move on, but what about the nature, the quality? Uh, where is the nature of forgiveness? Okay, should he forgive or not? We can see through the light of Srimad Bhagavatam. Mm. Otherwise, we can have not these few questions, we can have 10 more questions or even 100 more questions. The more we discuss, the more we get into a dilemma, isn't it? Anyone had such question? More questions on this? Hmm. There are always questions. Why? Because we don't refer to the light of knowledge. When we see through the light of knowledge, then we can understand. But rather, what we think is, still, this is not answered. This is not answered. Yeah. Then we leave it there, and then we try to, yeah, accommodate and compromise, or we take one or the other way, and then we lose the opportunity to learn something. And here, in the case of this, and in fact, if we see in Ramayana also we see that there is a very nice episode which, yeah, so many Hetuvadis who are against scriptural um, understanding of Vedas, they just say, hey, how is it possible when you say Ram is Lord? How can Ram kill Vali? How can Ram kill Vali? You know how he killed Vali? He has shot an arrow. That is okay. He is a Kshatriya. That's fine. No, no, no. He is uh, not a Kshatriya. See, if a Kshatriya is there, he should not shoot an arrow from back. He should actually face. He should call for a war. He should face him, whether it is a duel or in a war. But you see what Ram did? Is he a god? Is he Lord? Is he Dharmatma? Easy. What do we call this? Maryada Purushottam. Where is the Maryada? Uh, Maryada, character. Where is character of Lord Ram? That way one can go write pages and pages. When we don't understand how to understand these scriptures, then we have a big problem. Then we don't see the importance of such wonderful, yeah, Puranas, Itihasas, and then what happens is that we tend to take ourselves that, hey, no, 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 yeah, all these things are bogus. Yeah, in those times they were not that much. Yeah, atheists were so much um, uh, opposed. Yeah, even now there are so many nice people who are coming to challenge the scriptures, challenge these, understand that are these right, wrong, all these things are not correct. Huh? No, the scriptures are saying, yeah, scriptures are saying, okay, what is the Vedic injunction, how to deal with people? It is only that we do not have that understanding because we are not brought up in that culture. When we are talking about a culture, culture is actually not just knowledge. Yeah? Knowledge is okay, we can get in Google, if we search, we get, if we search in Chat GPT, we can get. But what is very important is the culture, we can't get it because it's something that we see, we experience, we learn, we pick it up, we imbibe that in our values and then execute that. So something that, yeah, and what should be the basis of culture? There are so many cultures, right? There are so many cultures. What should be the basis is should be dharma, uh, and not dharma that we created, not the man-made dharma. We are talking about Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma means the way of living, yeah, that the Lord has established. So, isn't it obvious that, for example, if we create a TV, a television, or a washing machine, or whatever, if we create, we give a manual to it. We know that which button should be pressed and what mechanism is behind it, and everything we know. Then, so, but then, who created us? Hmm? In fact, it is the Lord, and He also has uh, um, ways of how we can function, we should function, and if we don't function, what happens? All these things is in the form of Vedas, it's provided. And when we refer that, then there is no problem because the Lord knows what impact, yeah, just like when we created, of course, man made, we don't know what are the impacts. That's why we create something and there is a side effect. But the Lord, who is a perfect being, He can definitely create everything perfectly. There is no chance that He can make errors. It is not that, okay, Lord, by chance He created this. What was that? Big Bang Theory, right? Maybe there was a chance, by chance it created. No, if it was a chance, how can everything so perfectly organize, happen, and uh, come to existence, manifest, unmanifest, everything nicely? The seasons are coming. How can one say a flower can come from a bud stage to blossoming so nicely, and then the fragrance? How is it possible by chance? We can't see anything happening by chance, such a beautiful creation. Yeah. Science can maybe create some beautiful things we can see in future, but no, that's not going to happen. So the Lord who is perfect, He has created a perfect manual. And of course, in that, He says, one who is an aggressor, one who is aggressor, who is he? One who gives poison. One who gives poison, he is an aggressor. One who sets fire to house. Hmm. One who sets fire to house. One who attacks with deadly weapons. Uh, one who plunders riches. One who occupies another's land, and one who kidnaps uh, other's wife. They are considered as an aggressor. What aggressor is? The one who is what is the Sanskrit word we see here? Give me 1 second. It's atatai, I think. One, P. mm, 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 mm. Yeah, atatai. One who is one who violates the injunctions, one who violates the code of dharma. Uh, he is an aggressor. And such a person should be punished. And in fact, the Shastras say that such a person should be killed at once. Hmm. Uh, and if we see in the case of in the Mahabharata itself, we can see that Duryodhan did all these things, isn't it? Okay, kidnapping wife, uh, we leave it there, but we see that he gave poison to Bhima. Uh, he gave poison to Bhima, isn't it? And he set fire in Lakshagraha, the house which is made with wax, and then he tried to kill them. Uh, he um, attacked with deadly weapons, either he or Karna, and then he was ever eager to plunder the riches. He wanted to make sure that he was so greedy that he wanted everything to for himself. When they came with a deal, Kshatriya's duty is to rule, so at least give 5 villages so that the Pandavas can be on their own and you can rule everything else. No, he plundered all what is it called? Indraprastha. Yeah. When is it Indraprastha? Yeah. When Pandavas got that, finally the villages, then they were given what? Khandav Prastha. This Khandav Prastha is so, but the Pandavas under the direction of Krishna, they have made it a wonderful place that impressed so much that Duryodhan, with his treacherous trick, what he did, he also, yeah, in the gambling game, he asked and he wanted that. So Duryodhan, we can see he is a plunderer. And in one way, we can see that, okay, Ashwathama being part of that, mm, he is also an aggressor. And then we can also see that he, uh, in the light of such an act. Now, in Srimad Bhagavatam, there is this wonderful chapter that helps us just to give a glimpse of the importance of scriptures. We can see that Sukadev Goswami is not narrating the whole A to Z detail of it, but he gives us a gist of what happens. Mm, uh, Here we can see such now is Ashwatthama should be forgiven. We are talking about quality of forgiveness. Should he be forgiven? When we talk about this, then through this chapter we can get a clarity on to a certain extent, just like in the case of Ramayana, where we see Vali was killed and Lord Ram, when Vali has asked, hey, how come that? If at all you wanted the help to get back Sita, you would have asked me, I would have single-handed done it. Yeah, I have the power. Why you have to go to Sugriv and do that? That too, yeah, you have to hit me like this from the back. Uh, all the questions that he asked, Lord Ram answered with one saying that, hey, one who is an aggressor is as good as animal. An aggressor, one who is not maintaining the code of conduct, especially in this way, the five. Uh, Such an aggressor, though he may be, in the case of Ashwatthama, we can see here, at least in the case of their Vali, yeah, he was saying, hey, you are an aggressor, and then I am a Kshatriya. That is the reason why I was thinking, okay, here we are seeing, okay, there is Tejas, that's vigor of Kshatriya, and then uh, forgive. To what extent can one be forgiven? A Kshatriya is, it is said, okay, when it is small offense. When it is small offense, okay, fine. But not such a big offense, which is like conducted by here Ashwatthama or by Vali. Uh, that's what we see. Administrators poison, attack all of a sudden with deadly weapons, plundering wealth, usurps of agricultural fields, or entices one's wife is called an aggressor. Such an aggressor, though he is a Brahman or so-called son of a Brahman. Here we see that Ashwatthama is son of Dronacharya, but still he is not Brahman. What happened here? He has committed such an offense. He has committed. When Arjuna promised to behead the aggressor named Ashwatthama, he knew well that Ashwatthama was son of a Brahman, but because the so-called Brahman acted like a butcher, he was taken as such, and there was no question of sin in killing such Brahman. So when after this incident where the sons of Pandavas were killed by Ashwatthama in the night, then Arjuna going and he ties him. You know, he he goes and then he ties Ashwatthama in ropes, and then uh, the question is coming. He is caught up just like animal. Mm. Yes, we see how animal is dragged. So, and Srila Sridhar Swami Maharaj gives a statement, yeah, he is caught like an animal. And why? Because he has committed this. And when he was tied up like that, when he was brought up, and Krishna became very, very angry. He didn't become angry on Arjuna. He became angry on the act of Ashwatthama. Uh, and he said, punish him immediately. Hmm. This is what is an interesting thing, right? So how Krishna is seeing, we usually see Krishna as what is that? Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Where Krishna is ever respectful and loving to the cows and Brahmanas. How is that? How is that he is um, in this spirit? He's saying, hey, he is even saying, you should not show mercy by releasing this relative of Brahmana. Huh? In this address itself, Krishna is declaring that Ashwatthama is no more a Brahmana, but he is just a Brahma Bandhu. Uh, Brahma Bandhu means relative of a Brahman. Yeah, he is a relative, isn't it? He's son of Ashwatthama. He's son of what is that? Dronacharya. So of course he's relative, but he is not Brahman. Why? Because he's not manifesting he didn't manifest the qualities of a Brahman. Rather, what happened? He has treacherously, he has killed the sons of Pandavas. So Lord Krishna is saying you should not show mercy by releasing this, for he has killed innocent boys in their sleep. So this is the offense. This is the offense that he has committed. So for that matter, you should not be uh, spared. Huh? Uh, Killing is what is the fault of Ashwatthama? Hmm? Killing innocent who were sleeping, that is fine. But um, if we see, hmm, Lord Krishna is saying this, and after that, yeah, then there is the next verse. I'm just Mattam pramattam unmattam suptam balam striyam jadam prapannam viratam bhitam na ripum hanti dharmavit. What is dharma? What is the code of dharma? Is a person who knows the principles of religion does not kill an enemy who is careless or intoxicated or insane or asleep, afraid or devoid of his chariot. Hmm? Mattam pramattam. Mattam means careless. Yeah. So if someone is careless, one should not attack him. Which means one should say, hey, take your weapon or be ready. When you're ready, then we fight. Usually, when we don't, when we can't win someone, we are just looking when is the weak point, what is his weakness, uh, and then attack because we are not strong. Or pramattam, if someone is intoxicated, yeah, he is not active, right? When someone is intoxicated, what will he listen if we tell? Uh, and we think, hey, this is a nice time if we kill. No, that's not approved. Unmattam. Unmattam means insane, very insane. And then Suptam, when someone is asleep. And Balam. Balam means child. Striyam, woman. Jadam, foolish. Pramattam, who has surrendered. And Viratam, one who has lost his chariot. And now you can also see uh, this is also when we see in the case of Draupadi, how she was forced in the Hastinapur. You can see that is not right. Yeah, here we see that if someone is lost his chariot, Abhimanyu was killed. Mm. Uh, then we can see if someone is careless, someone is intoxicated, someone is insane, then Ripum. And what is saying that not kill he, nor does he kill a boy, a woman, a foolish creature, or a surrendered soul. If someone has said, I surrender to you, then he should not be killed. One should not take a chance. Okay, now I can make. He has given up his spirit of fighting. Now he is ready, easily can be killed. No. An enemy who does not resist is never killed by a warrior who knows the principles of religion. Formerly, battles were fought on the principles of religion and not for the sake of sense gratification. If the enemy happened to be intoxicated, asleep, etc., as above mentioned, he was never to be killed. These are some of the codes of religious war. Now the question is coming already, yeah? Because we are ignorant, so that's why we have this question. Did Ashwadhama do correct or wrong, first of all? Yeah? Then there is so many. Yeah, you can have a panel of 10 people and 10 people will tell 10 opinions. Isn't it? Gaur Bhagwan Prabhu? Just you invite 10 people saying, hey, this is the topic. And then they are ready, 10 people who can tell 10 things. And then comes formerly wars were never declared by the whims of selfish political leaders. It was carried out on religious principle free from all vice. Violence carried out on religious principle is far superior to so-called non-violence. Prabhupada is writing in the last, in the purport of this is, we may always think, hey, peace is the way. Uh, what is the real peace? What is the duty? Violence carried out on religious principles. So this is the Kshatriya spirit. He is far superior to so-called non-violence. And it goes further. This is going further. After that, there is this king's duty is to do what? To punish. When someone is of this kind, one has to give up. But swapranan ya para pranay. Then he is saying, a cruel and wretched person who maintains his existence at the cost of others' lives. What is Krishna saying? If one is living at the cost of others' life, deserve to be killed for his own well-being. Otherwise, he will go down by his own actions. A Kshatriya, if he spares such people, then what is happening is the other person is going downward, will go down by his own actions, just like a thief. Yeah? A thief, he is spared, thinking, okay, okay, yeah, he has killed one person, that's okay. He will kill one more person and he will kill 10 more persons. Hmm. So, a cruel and wretched person who maintains his existence at the cost of others' lives deserves to be killed for his own well-being. Not own well-being is not for the king. It is not just it is safe for him and his people, but it is also helpful that such a criminal is punished for what he has done. Otherwise, he will go down by his own actions. And there is a wonderful purport in this regard. Prabhupada mentions this is 1737. A life for a life is just punishment for a person who cruelly and shamelessly lives at the cost of another's life. Very profound. We are talking about, hey, how can a saintly person can write such? Uh, uh, isn't it just provoking the spirit of fighting? Yeah. Political morality is to punish a person by a death sentence in order to save a cruel person from going to hell. So again, when we know the Shastras, when we see through the light of Shastras, Shastra Chakshu, that means then we can understand this. That a murderer is condemned to a death sentence by the state is good for the culprit because in his next life, he will not have to suffer for his act of murder. Uh, Such a death sentence for murderer is the lowest possible punishment offered to him. Yeah, whenever we hear what is that section 302, immediately we think, oh, such a big punishment. Yeah, according to the kings, yeah, according to the political Niti Shastra, it says, yeah, this is, and it is said in the Smriti Shastra that men who are punished by the king on the principle of life for life are purified of all their sins. So, king is what is he doing? Huh? He is purifying the sins of the one who has committed, and for that matter, this is so much so that they may be eligible for being promoted to planets of heaven. What is he getting? Even I don't know whether we get it, but being killed, he is getting such a high position that yeah, he can go to heaven. According to Manu, the great author of civic codes and religious principles, even the killer of an animal is to be considered a murderer because animal food is never meant for civilized man whose prime duty is to prepare himself for going back to Godhead. Huh? It is not that, okay, we should live on meat. He who gives permission, he who kills the animal, he who sells the slaughtered animal, he who cooks the animal, he who administers distribution of foodstuff, and at last he who eats such cooked animal food are all murderers, and all of them are liable to be punished by the laws of nature. So we may think because there is no such restrictions, no such what do you call sanctions upon a being for eating meat, so he can eat, or then we can go on. But there are higher laws of nature are not written by some selfish people. Mm. When Lord created, when the Manu, he established all these things. No one can create a living being despite all advancement of material science. Anyway, this goes a little further. So in this way, the material world is itself a place always full of anxieties. And by encouraging animal slaughters, the whole atmosphere becomes polluted more and more by war, pestilence, famine, and many other unwanted calamities. We are saying, hey, in my own 40 years, I'm seeing so many disasters. Ah, mm, is there, once upon a time, the water was so fresh uh, and everywhere accessible. Now, we don't know what chemical is there. Is it used for purifying the water, or is it uh, a consequence of purifying something else? We see that because of the slaughterhouses, how much water is spent to clean or from the blood stains. It's not so easy. That water can be very well used for agriculture production, etc. And then there is also so much famine. We see so many some places where there is no proper food. We sometimes see that give €1 month for a bread for people who don't even have that. Why these things are happening? Uh, these things were not there before. Why are they happening more and more frequent? And yeah, it already puzzles us to see, will the world end very soon because of all these disasters? Can a war happen? Uh, yeah, so quickly. And not only that, we are now in the midst of not one war, there are multiple wars going on. And what does this war cause? More famine. Where does the food come? Uh, the land that can be used for agriculture, for cultivation, is bombarded with missiles, and the fertility is gone, the purity of the air is gone, uh, the atmosphere stability is disturbed. All these things are coming. Why? Because of the interests of the people. Anyway, so that is still a sideline. Let's go forward. And then now Krishna is telling directly, of course, Krishna is saying, further, I have personally heard you promise Draupadi that you would bring forth the head of killer of her sons. Huh? So this is also, yeah, a Kshatriya should keep up his promise, isn't it? We see what happens in the case of Ramayana, that Ram has kept his promise for that matter. He went and killed Vali. We see what happened in Ramayana again, where Dashrath has kept his promise to protect the demigods. What did he do? So many references where we can see the whole Kshatriyas have, they keep up their promise. Mm. And this man is an assassin and murderer of your own family members. Krishna is saying, uh, not only that, but he has also dissatisfied his master. He is but the burnt remnant of his family. What does that mean? Yeah. And then, anyway, Krishna is saying, kill him. He is saying, the son of Dronacharya is condemned here as the burnt remnant of his family. What happened? Dronacharya is very, very respected. He is very, very respected. Although he joined the enemy camp, Mm. Dronacharya, he joined the enemies, he joined the Kauravas. Pandavas still, they always respect him. Arjuna has saluted before the fight started. There was nothing wrong in that. But the son of Dronacharya degraded himself by committing acts which are never done by Dvijas. Uh, it's not that, no, no, no. Now, who is that? Ashwatthama has become fighting. He is a Kshatriya. He should. No, but he is not approved to misbehave whatever he want. Hmm? Ashwatthama, the son, has committed murder by killing the five sleeping sons of Draupadi, by which he dissatisfied his master, Duryodhana. Even Duryodhana was not happy by the way what Ashwatthama has done. Hmm? Who never approved of Hiranya's act of killing the five sons of Pandavas. This means that Ashwatthama became an assaulter of Arjuna's own family members, and thus he was liable to be punished by him. Uh, yeah, of course. Yeah. So it is was adharma. And what do? You go to the king. You go to the king and ask, what should I do? And in fact, here Arjuna is himself Kshatriya. Then he can. Thus, he was liable to be punished. Ashwadhama liable to be punished. In the Shastras, he who attacks without notice or kills from behind or sets fire to another's house or kidnapping one's wife is condemned to death. To death. It's not like, okay, it's taken easy. No, to be death. Krishna reminded Arjuna of these facts so that he might take notice of them and do the needful. And it goes further, and this verse of the chapter is the crux of the whole chapter. Yeah. Then we see Suta Goswami is saying, Evam parikshata dharmam partha Krishna choditaha naichad dantum guru sutam, and is saying, Yadyapi atmahanam mahan. Suta Goswami is saying, although Krishna, who was examining Arjuna in religion, he's just telling, hey, you can kill. He's examining actually. Uh, he encouraged Arjuna to kill the son of Dronacharya. Uh, Arjuna, what did he do? He was just still thinking. Arjuna, because he's great, he's not just, okay, will I get sin if I kill him? No, he was thinking, he did not like the idea of killing Ashwadhama. Although Ashwadhama was a heinous murderer of Arjuna's family members, that amplifies the greatness of the character of Arjuna. Uh, as soon as we don't even need justification, right? To kill someone, to attack someone, because we are having so much vengeance in us. We are thinking that, hey, I am right, I am right. After all, Daksha was saying, I am right. He was just bringing statements and saying, this Lord Shiva, he is, I think the other day we were discussing about this character, where Daksha was trying to put Shiva on spot and saying, hey, he's characterless. He used so many words, but what happened? Uh, no, Lord Shiva, he was just tolerant. He was just seeing, and then um, in that case, here mm, we don't really need someone as soon as we think we are right. And this is also what we call the effects of misjudgment. Uh, the effects of misjudgment means that I am preoccupying myself with something and I'm just waiting that this can be proved. Though it is not thoroughly proved, I am thinking it is proved and I am just acting already. So this misjudgment is leading to what? A mishappen. What is that? We take over the charge and we think that we are right and we do it, and we commit mistake. And here, in fact, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, is telling to Arjuna that, hey, kill him at once. And still Arjuna is thinking. The question may come in two ways. The question is, why? Huh? When Lord is so clearly telling with all facts and figures and to kill Ashwatthama, is there any doubt? Huh? And if there is a doubt, is it not disobeying? But what do we see here? Arjuna is a devotee. He's not just a passionate Kshatriya, but he is a compassionate Kshatriya. So when the compassion comes, he is thinking, just like in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Let's see if I can get that verse quickly. If I have it, no. Yeah, I'll come to that once. I have. So 130, I think. Yeah. Vibhav, what is 130? 130, 9. Arjuna is saying, with the destruction of dynasty, the eternal family tradition is vanquished, and thus the rest of the family becomes invalid and irreligion. Uh, Kulakshaya pranasyanti. Yeah. He's saying what a disaster it would be if I am going to kill. He has this, and after Krishna has given whole Bhagavad Gita, and after Krishna, Arjuna is convinced, and when the war is happening, and again what is happening after this phase, when um, when this brutal way of ill-treating. There was this Abhimanyu who was killed very badly, and after the sons of Pandavas are killed, still we can see uh, the compassion is nature, right? So devotee's compassion is deep, and that always comes. Okay, let it be. And then no, Krishna is saying. Um, hmm, um, he's saying. Huh? But hey, kill him at once. Huh? Kill him at once. And in the purport, Prabhupada emphasizes what is this? Why Krishna is so much pushing? Is Krishna is doesn't his goal is only to establish dharma? We may think, right? When Krishna is saying yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata, I am coming to establish dharma. Is Krishna coming because out of duty? Is it only that he want to make sure that dharma is there, then he can go back to Golok Dham and he can again enjoy? Is he so quick, eager to get the job done soon? No, here in the purport we see Lord Sri Krishna encouraged Arjuna outwardly just to test Arjuna's sense of duty. Will he keep up his duty or not? He is testing. It is not that Arjuna was incomplete in the sense of his duty. Arjuna knows that he is a Kshatriya, but he is still out of yeah, judge sometimes, he has to punish, uh, but he only seeing facts. Whichever case comes strong, he has to. But he knows genuinely his antakarna. There is this sixth sense or inner sense that is telling, no, I can see that he is not. But what to do? So, but Arjuna. So here we see, nor was Lord Krishna unaware of Arjuna's sense of duty. There are two things. But Lord Krishna puts to test many of his pure devotees just to magnify the sense of duty. How are they going to fulfill their duty? Hmm? Are they just taking a step back, becoming weak? Hmm? The gopis were put in such tests as well. Prahlad Maharaj also was put in such test. Hmm? All pure devotees come out successful in the respective tests by the Lord. To establish this truth, Krishna is now putting Arjuna in this situation. Kill, man, kill. He's just pushing him. And it goes further. And yeah, and yeah, just to get a further understanding. Then after reaching his own camp, Arjuna, along with his dear friend and charioteer, who is Krishna, entrusted the murderer dear wife, unto his dear wife, who was lamenting for her murdered sons. Huh? Hmm. This is very apt. Yeah, after all, he said this is what he said. He will catch hold and then he will bring it to, and then, uh, and here we see then what happens. Now, Draupadi speaks something very interesting. Already we are confused what Arjuna is doing right or wrong, right? Already we are not sure whether is Krishna testing or is it really he should do like that as what Krishna is telling. And now Suta Goswami is saying, uh, uh, Tataharam Pashubat Pasha Baddham. He, Ashwatthama, who was tied like an animal with the rope, uh, she saw and she was seeing, and due to her female nature, mm, what is she doing? Due to her female nature and due to her being naturally good and well behaved, she showed him due respects as a Brahman. Uh, that is the reason it is said that the Stri are simple. And here we can, because of that simplicity, they are not strict. Of course, in fact, she is weeping, she is suffering because of this person who killed her children. Ashwadama was condemned by Lord himself. The Lord himself has condemned what Ashwadama has done, and he was treated by Arjuna like a culprit, not like the son of Brahmana, not like. But when he was brought before Draupadi, uh, although begrieved by the murder of her sons, and although the murderer was present before her, could not withdraw the due respect generally offered to Brahmanas. As soon as we see a Brahman, we offer due respect. This is due to her mild nature as a woman. Women as a class are no better than boys, and therefore they have no discriminatory power like that of a man. Hmm. Ashwadama proved himself to be an unworthy son of Dronacharya, and for this reason he was condemned by the greatest authority, Lord Krishna, and yet a mild woman could not withdraw her natural courtesy for a Brahman. And of course, there is further um, in the purport, there is also mentioned the specific word used in this sloka is Vama Swabhava. Vama means mild and gentle by nature. A good man or a woman accepts anything very easily, but a man of average intelligence does not do so. But anyway, we should not give up our reason and discriminatory power due to be just to be gentle. People says, no, I will be passive. The other day we were discussing with someone, and we were talking about the pros and cons of active and passive. If one is very active, what happens? One is passive. We see here we should not follow the mild nature of a woman and thereby accept that which is not genuine, which means mild nature is very important, but we should not use it so that we uh, accept something which is ungenuine or not genuine. Ashwatthama may be respected by a good natured woman, but that does not mean that he is as good as a genuine Brahman. That is an opinion because of the nature. Uvacha chaha chasa hanti asya. She could not tolerate Ashwadhama being tied in the ropes and being a devoted lady. She said, release him, for he is a Brahman, our spiritual master. Very interesting. Why did she call him as a spiritual master? We know Dronacharya is uh, their master, but how come Ashwadhama becomes? It is as soon as Ashwadhama was brought before Draupadi, she thought it intolerable that a Brahman should be arrested like a culprit and brought before her in that condition, especially when the Brahmana happened to be a teacher's son. Obvious what happens is this is parampara where we can see when Dronacharya is gone, who will be the teacher? His son. No? So she is seeing still in that a guru is called also an acharya, a person who has personally assimilated all the essence of shastras and has helped his disciples to adopt the ways. But Ashwadhama failed to discharge the duties of a Brahman, and therefore he was liable to be rejected from the exalted position of a Brahman. On this consideration, both Lord Krishna and Arjuna were right in condemning Ashwatthama, but to a good lady like Draupadi. The matter was considered not from the angle of Shastric vision, but as a matter of custom. Ah, what is a custom? Custom is something that we all agree together and say, okay, by this we appreciate everyone, we respect everyone, we do not harm each other, offend each other, and that becomes custom. But Shastras are above, which are not just man-made, which are by custom. Ashwadhama was offered the same respect as offered to his father. It was so because generally the people accept the son of a Brahman as a real Brahman by sentiment only. So, what is the basis of Shastras is it's not sentiment, whereas for customs it is sentiment. Factually, the matter is different. A Brahman is accepted on the merit of qualification and not on the merit of simply being the son of a Brahman. But in spite of all of this, Draupadi desired that Ashwatthama be at once released. So what is she saying? It was by Dronacharya's mercy that you learned the military art of throwing arrows and the confidential art of controlling weapons. Hmm. So, and not only that, uh, Dronacharya, is certainly still existing, being represented by his son. And this is again very, very important. Hmm? Draupadi is mentioning that, first of all, uh, he now becomes, Ashwatthama becomes representative of your spiritual master. That reason you have to forgive him or leave him. Not only that, Kripi, the wife of Dronacharya, she didn't undergo a sati, that she didn't also uh, died along with Dronacharya. So, what she said, Draupadi is saying, his wife did not undergo a sati with him because she had a son. And now it is very important. After all, she is living for his son, and it's not right to kill him. O most fortunate one who knows the principles of religion, it is not good for you to cause grief to glorious family members who are always respectable and worshipable. Huh? This is what happened. A slight insult of a respectable family is sufficient to invoke grief. You know what, right? If one is very, very respected family, if you just insult, that insult itself is almost like killing the person. So here she is saying, don't do this. Therefore, a cultured man should always be careful in dealing with worshipful family members. So when you are dealing with such a person, what will be the situation of Kripi? She will be very much disturbed. So be careful. Let's not do this. She says, my lord, do not make the wife of Dronacharya cry like me. I am aggrieved for the death of my sons. She did not cry constantly like me. And then Uh, if the kingly administrative order, being unrestricted in sense control, offend the Brahmana order mm, and enrages them, then the fire of that rage burns up the whole body of the royal family and brings grief upon them all. She is saying, if if we are not careful and if we commit any mistake, as a Kshatriya, hey, Kshatriya has the power to kill or punish. But if that punishment is unjustful, if such a punishment is unjustful, what is going to happen is that will burn our whole family, whole royal family. So the Brahmana order of society or spiritually advanced caste or community and the members of such highly elevated families were always held in great esteem by others, subordinate caste, namely the administrative kings. So the kings should respect the Brahmanas. This is what Draupadi is saying. And then this is going, she is saying finally, King, uh, King Yudhishthir fully supported the statement of Queen, which were accordance with the principles of religion and were justified, glorious, full of mercy and equity and without duplicity. But then what does, if this is the dharma, then if Arjuna um, and Krishna, who were ready after understanding, yeah, he should be punished for his own welfare, is that wrong? Because Yudhishthir Maharaj, he is Dharmatma, he is the one who uh, is saying, whatever you have spoken, Draupadi, is accordance to the principles of Dharma and justified, glorified, full of merits, and all these things. Then we know that Dharmaraj, he is son of Yamaraj. We know that Yamaraj is an expert who calculates what did we do, good or bad, how much, what should be the level of punishments to be granted. Uh, uh, Maharaj Yudhishthir, son of Dharmaraj or Yamaraj, fully supported the words of Queen Draupadi in asking Arjuna to release Ashwadhama. One should not tolerate the humiliation of a member of a great family. Arjuna and his family were indebted to the family of Dronacharya. So anyway, in this way, whatever Draupadi said, Yudhishthir agreed. Hey, you are thinking properly, you have done properly, and Nakul and Sahadev also, and Arjuna also, and Krishna also. Everyone said, hey, okay, uh, and the ladies and others all unanimously agreed with the king. When Yudhishthir said, this is the thing. Whatever you said is right, everyone is fine. But Bhim was not. Hmm. He was saying, however, he became very angry, disagreed with them, and recommended killing. This, he said, kill him who has murdered sleeping children for no purpose, for neither his nor his master's interest. Huh? First of all, it was not that Duryodhan has appreciated it. Mm? And it is also not of his own interest. What will happen? If a person is killing, he knows that very well, right? If he is committing a crime here. So, and then when Bhima was on one side and all others were on the other side, there is very nice shloka and purport also, I like it. Nisamya Bhima Gaditam Draupadya cha Chaturbhuja Alokya Vadanam Sakyur Idam Aham Hasan Iva is saying Chaturbhuja or the personality of Godhead, after hearing the words of Bhima, Draupadi, and others, saw the face of his dear friend Arjuna and he began to speak as if smiling. And Krishna, we know he is a two-handed form, but here Sutta Goswami is mentioning that he has four hands. It is very interesting because there are two parties. So Krishna has expanded two more hands. One set are holding Bhima, hey, calm down, and other hands are showing the other parties, okay, calm down. Uh, so to bring them together, this is where is mentioned in the purport. Sridhar Swami Maharaj is saying that. And then Bhagavan Vacha is saying, Brahma Bandhur na Hantavya. He's saying that a friend of a Brahmana is not to be killed, but if he is an aggressor, he must be killed. Krishna is saying, all these rulings are in scriptures and you should act accordingly. You have to fulfill your promise to your wife, and you must also act to the satisfaction of Bhimasena and me. So he's telling Arjuna, hey, after all, you have caught him, you have brought him, and now you have to find out what you should do. But it should be Dharma Sammata. It should be according to the religion. In the purport, Prabhupada mentions Arjuna was perplexed because Ashwadhama was to be killed as well as spared according to different scriptures cited by different persons. Hmm? Bhima is telling one, Draupadi is telling one, Yudhishthir Maharaj is telling one, Krishna said some. Huh? As a Brahma Bandhu or worthless son of Brahman, Ashwadhama was not to be killed, but he was at the same time an aggressor also. So, and according to the ruling of Manu, an aggressor, even though he be a Brahman, and what to speak of unworthy son of a Brahmana, is to be killed. Dronacharya was certainly a Brahman in the true sense of term, but because he stood in the battlefield, he was killed. No? But although Ashwadhama was an aggressor, he stood without any fighting weapons. The ruling is that an aggressor, when he is without weapon or chariot, cannot be killed. All these were certainly perplexities. This is what happens to us when we are in a position to decide what is right, what is wrong. And this is not like we need to go to a battlefield of Kurukshetra to be in that situation. Our day to day life puts us every day in this situation. Should I um, resist? Uh, should I be submissive? Uh, what should be the approach? Why? What should be? Because that may be right, this is right, this is right. And in all directions, when so many things happen, we are perplexed to take a decision. But because we are not tolerant, because we do not have so much patience to really find what is the right thing to do, what we do is in a haste, we commit sin, we commit crime, we commit sin. Uh, this crime need not be that killing someone. Yeah, it can be just by hurting someone, by talking someone. There we see the importance of forgiveness. What is that forgiveness? Is it to let it go is forgiveness, or is it to help the other person uh, so that the other person doesn't commit such a crime? So all these things, when we take into account, it really needs some time to make a conscious right decision. And it's not so easy. We just saw here. Besides that, Arjuna had to keep the promise he has made before Draupadi just to pacify her. And he also has to satisfy both Bhima and Krishna, who advised killing him. This dilemma was present before Arjuna, and the solution was awarded by Krishna. So this is that Krishna said, yeah, how come? Krishna became angry. He also said valid reasons. He also said to kill. Bhima also said that. But then there is others who said, okay, no. And what should Arjuna do? Arjuna do is he is very um, Hmm. Just then, Arjuna could understand the motive of Lord by his equivocal orders, and thus, with his sword, he severed both hair and jewel from the head of Ashwatthama. So, this is the importance of wisdom. We have to fulfill what we should do, and we have to see is there some way so that we can accommodate everything so that we can still follow the path of dharma. Contradictory orders of different persons are impossible to carry out. Yeah? One is telling don't kill, one is telling kill. Therefore, a compromise was selected by Arjuna by his sharp intelligence, and he separated the jewel from the head of Ashwatthama. He has, there is this, what is this money? I forgot. What does Ashwatthama has? This diamond. I forgot the name.
That was Kasturba, money.
What is it?
Kasturba, maybe.
Kaustuba?
Kasturba or
No. I forgot that. So he what he did, he took that. Why? Because that is the wealth. Huh? This was as good as cutting off his head, and yet his life was saved from all practical purposes. So that Kripi, his mother, is not sad. And here Ashwatthama is indicated as twice born. Certainly he was twice born, but he fell down from his position. Therefore, he was properly punished. So, and then it goes further that Ashwatthama had already lost his bodily luster due to infanticide by killing mm, kids, children. And now, moreover, having lost the jewel from his head, he lost even more strength. Thus, he was unbound and driven out of the camp. So, here, um, but why this punishment? But we can see, thus being insulted, the humiliated Ashwatthama was simultaneously killed and not killed by intelligence of Lord Krishna and Arjuna. In that way, this is sorted out. And then uh, cutting the hair from his head, depriving him from his wealth, and driving him from his residence are the prescribed punishments for the relative of a Brahmana. There is no injunction for killing the body. So that's how now Arjuna has kept it. So Krishna said to kill, Arjuna has killed in a way that he didn't kill, so that he breaks the injunctions of the Shastras. Uh, anyway, that ends the chapter, I think. Yeah, they have to. Yeah. Anyway, so what do we want to see from here is that a Kshatriya, we can see a Kshatriya is not just working whimsically or in passion. He also have to he have to understand what is the smriti niti, what is it saying, and he has to also follow. It's not like, okay, now I have a weapon, I can, no one, I don't have to answer anyone. No, yeah, we have to answer to the bookkeeper, Yamaraj, who is maintaining everything. What did we do? We can't just simply escape from it. Rather, we should be very careful. That's why we should understand a Kshatriya can't simply forgive. Here in this case of Arjuna, if Arjuna out of compassion, he would have said, no, no, let him go, let him go. No, that's not approved. At the same time, killing him literally is not, because it causes other issues. That's why. And um, yeah, in similar way, we also have our own uh, mm, duties, and we can't just do it with whatever comes to our mind. Let's do like that, let's do like this, and we can't cause problems. So forgiveness can, yeah, I mean, that is the issue today. You see so many quotes coming around, yeah, forgiveness is that, forgiveness is this. You should do that. You should do this. What is it? Something called for forget. Forgetting is better. What is it? Forgetting is better than No, no, sorry. Forgive. Forget and forgive. Yeah, right. Something like that. So many things come, but there is no a general way of living. It's not common for everyone. A Kshatriya should really be very strong. Here it says he may excuse minor offenses. Prabhupada is writing that, but a person who is able to curb down his enemy may, under certain conditions, should show forgiveness, but not ever forever. There is also this. I think we recently came across in the case of Prithu Maharaj when he was doing yajna. Then Indra comes to take away the horse. Yeah? And King Prithu becomes very angry. He takes his arrow. He wanted to shoot, but anyway, because he was doing Ashwamedha yajna, so he is pacified, and the priests or the brahmanas tell his son to go and get the horse back. Antardhana, he doesn't kill Indra. He has the arrow, he is ready, he can kill, but he doesn't kill. If we want to know why, we have to wait for next week. Huh? It's so easy. This story is telling how to be. And there, why did he forgive? That's an interesting thing. So it doesn't one T-shirt fits for everyone, one size fits for all. That is not um, going to work, and that can only create us more confusion and more consequences of it. So if there are any points anyone want to share or discuss in this part, yeah, we
Hare
can
Krishna Prabhuji.
sometime. Yeah.
Prabhuji, you mentioned that aggressor, if punishing aggressor or killing a aggressor is not a sin, does not
Mhm.
occur a sin. So
Yeah.
this is a responsibility of a Kshatriya. But
Yeah.
if anyone else takes this responsibility to punish or kill
Mhm.
aggressor, not a
Yeah.
Kshatriya, so does he incur sin?
Yeah, of course.
Maybe in case if he
Yeah.
doesn't get justice from the king maybe is not a good king, and then the general people take this charge in their hands, and
Yeah, that's a very good point. But how matured is the general public?
I don't know, maybe a family members was killed by someone and he asked for the justice, but king doesn't listen, and then he uh, maybe vengeance, maybe because of vengeance, or he's he kills or punish that person who killed his
Hmm.
family member.
Hmm.
So then does he get the sin, or
Taking unlawfully is a sin. Yeah. So because you don't have a very successful or very powerful ruling, if you say, "Hey, let me take a gun and let me shoot," what will happen?
yes, Prabhuji, yeah.
Hmm.
The government.
Yeah. Yeah, usually we see, hey, no, this is right. Yeah, this is right because he didn't. No, I have understood the Shastras properly. In Mahabharat, this is how Kichaka was killed. Yeah, let me do the same way. Huh? Yeah. So it really needs, yeah. Did we read only the Kichaka episode, or did we read more? Got a proper understanding? So at least, if king kills, he has no problem. He is not accruing sin. But if we kill, then we accrue sin because we are taking over the law in our hands. Hmm. That's why it's, yeah, as you already mentioned, yeah, first approach should be to approach the leaders. So when the leaders don't change, then we see how we see the revolt. Yeah, in the case of King Vena, Vena was so bad king, very bad king. Then all the intellectual people who are the Brahmanas, what they did, they simply went to the king and said, "Hey, king, what are you doing? This is not good. That's not good." And the king was so envious. He said, "Hey, you foolish people, you should consider me as the representative of God." And then, because king is representative, he also knows Shastras. He was saying, "I am a king, so I am God. You have to worship me, God. All what you are giving, don't think that you are giving out of um, No basis. No, you should be treating me like a king, like a god and all. And finally, all the Brahmanas, they came together and they have killed him with just mantras. Yeah, you see that. So we have to see who is qualified. Are we just thinking like, okay, any man can do anything? No. There we can see the Brahmanas who have thorough understanding of all the Shastra, they have stepped up. And after killing Vena, then again there was a crisis. What crisis was there? There was no king. And when there is no king, what happens? The rogues and thieves, they became very, they were starting looting even in the daytime. There's a consequence. The Shastras are saying, okay, a king, a Brahman, a minister can minister. Ideally, the Kshatriya, the king should hear to the ministers. The minister should guide him what should be done. But if the leader is not taking it, and then to establish dharma, it is said that yeah, the Brahmanas can step up, yeah, and they can do it. But then what to do? There is a consequence. It's not that the Brahmanas will stay there in that position as a ruling forever. They have to re-establish a proper king. We can see the same thing happened in the case of Chanakya Pandit. After who was that king? I forgot. Before Chandragupta Maurya, there was Dhananand. Is it right? I don't know if someone read Chanakya. There is this Dhananand who was the king of Magadha. No, yeah, or Patliputra, I don't know. So then, yeah, to establish the right king, Chanakya Pandit has looked for a suitable person and then has established. He didn't settle as a king. Hmm? So, so what do we do in 21st century? What should we do? Yeah. Yeah, we can raise our voice. It's not that okay, we don't want to be part of the problem by just being silent. We can raise our voice saying, okay, this is injustice based on A, B, C, D references through which we can bring it up. And yeah, these days we have options like what is it called? Petitions.org or so many things. Change me, what is it? So many things are there through which we can bring more awareness and yeah. And then this at least is a resistance, which is our part, that is in our hands, which we can do. Rather, we take into law into our custody. Rather, we get into its custody.
Yes, Guruji. Yeah. Thank you.
Mhm. Yeah, this is what we are doing, right? As part of the Krishna consciousness movement, it is not that okay, we are just letting it go. We are making sure that everyone is Krishna conscious, everyone is God conscious, everyone understands this, so that they can uh, lead a life based on mode of goodness, at least behave on the Varnashram platform, uh, and not animal civilization. So all these things are also actually what we are doing, right? Yeah. There are ways. This is what we can do as common men, anyway. And of course, once you are given a position where now we see, for example, in India, the Prime Minister is having a consulting panel where then he is having sadhus, and then, yeah, that is the way where they are getting guidance and through which they can rule. Hmm. Okay. Other thoughts, questions? Suritesh Prabhu, I don't know if you're there still. Harinam Chintamani Mataji, Sarika Mataji, anyone? What do you say? Okay, I think You have a question?
Yeah, I was questioning how to apply it in my life, basically, because it's
What do you want to apply?
forgiving, or if someone,
Forgiving.
I don't know if it's going to be discussed in next session because you were
It
hinting.
will touch also on that because we are basically devotees. So what is forgiveness role in devotee's life? And again, is it a devotee Kshatriya, a devotee Brahmana, a devotee Vaishya? Are we all, because Prabhupada said, yeah, we are, uh, a devotee is above Brahmana. A Vaishnava is above Brahmana. Means, yeah, one is becoming more qualified above that. So, what it means to be a devotee, and in that, what is it mean forgiveness? And we see here Arjuna is a first class devotee, but he's in a Kshatriya, what he's doing. So, these things we can discuss.
Hare Krishna Sudama Prabhu. Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Dandavat pranams, Avashishya Prabhupada. Actually, now, first of all, thank you so much for your classes. And one question now raised, when Mataji asked the question, when I hear the female voice, that actually, that Draupadi had like such a word, such a space to say something, that they considered her, like in the Vedic society, the woman could speak so long, and they considered her speech, like, because normally I think like women should step back and not to speak up, like that. They gave her this space and considered.
Okay, so I would recommend yesterday fresh we heard in Devaki Mataji's class. Yeah, she was at a home program. She has nice books about the role of a woman is to empower men. She has a book, whole book on that subject. Yeah, which means that it's not that the women community was discouraged to speak out. Yeah, but very much encouraged so that they can share these kind of opinions and also considered and valued.
Thank you so much, because I think there are like different
Opinions, right?
like opinions, and yeah, I'm sometimes confused.
Yeah, I'm also eager to see, I mean, what examples Devaki Mataji has given, but we can see in Ramayana also, Mother Sita also, yeah, when she says, I want to come with you to the forest, Lord Ram said, no, for good reasons, but Sita said, no, I'll come for good reasons. It was not like, okay, otherwise Sita wouldn't have gone to forest. There is no episode of Ravana in the forest and all these things. So they also, we can see that Sita Devi spoke out. Yeah, it is not that women are having a passive role in the family, but Devaki Mataji was mentioning that the roles of male and female in the society are completely a lot different. Yeah, but doesn't mean that they don't have any role. They have a good role, but it's of a different nature, which is actually empowering the male. This is what she was mentioning. Yeah.
Thank you.
Usually because the male dominance becomes so much that they don't hear the women. That's why we have this imbalances, and then uh, propagandas and all these things happen because of that. Yeah, there is a reason why there is a dominance, and there is a reason why one is submissive. Both are strengths. A submissive person is heard more than a dominant person, willingly, unwillingly, we see. Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you're very submissive, then you say, hey, he's very, very loving and he cares me. So if he is saying something, yeah, we can see this in the case of Vibhishan. He was very submissive to his own brother. He was telling submissively, but still telling. Only thing is, it was that Ravana could not make best of it. Hmm?
But isn't it that we have to be careful who we are submissive to? That the person has to have certain qualities, because this is also what
We don't
is not
want to
clear.
be, yeah, yeah. I always I'm remembering this from Prabhupada Leelamrita, where Prabhupada was saying that to to cheat is sin and to be cheated is also sin. So this is what Prabhupada says. So
Oh,
we have to be smart. Uh, we have to use our intelligence how to save ourselves to not be cheated.
So is in Leelamrita is quote, yeah, for Srila Prabhupada?
Yeah, if you want, I can look it up. It is in 52nd chapter or volume 2, 52 or 51, one of this.
Mm.
I think 52, most likely.
Wow, you remember? Okay, thank you.
Now we are
Nice.
just reading, every Friday we read Prabhupada Leelamrit. So we are now in the 53rd chapter, so it's still fresh in my
Okay.
mind.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
Thank you, thank you.
yeah. Okay. Other questions? How was this session? Was it about forgiveness actually? Yeah, but in a different perspective, right? I thought it's nice
Hare
to.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Shweta Mataji.
Yeah, yeah. I have also a question. Like, yeah, forgiveness is always given importance, and yeah, forgiving someone, you get your peace of mind. That is also correct. But at the same time, like it is also said in scriptures that allowing to tolerate the adharma is also a sin. As you right now said that cheating is sin, but to be cheated is also a sin. So sometimes it is difficult to select
Mm-hmm.
between forgiving and like
Yeah,
to voice against
yeah, Mataji.
wrong
Forgiveness,
thing.
the purpose should be it should help others.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
So if I'm forgiving someone,
Hmm.
yeah, it's not just it gives me peace. Yeah, that is
Hmm.
still selfish interest. I would say
Hmm.
that if I forgive someone,
Hmm.
uh, what what will the other person get? Is it he is repenting? Is he genuinely asking forgiveness?
Hmm. Okay.
Is he really genuinely asking that you know how he's acting after you forgive?
Ah, yeah.
And sometimes what happens is after you forgive, again it may happen, and it
Yeah.
may again happen after 4 5 times it happens.
Exactly. Hmm.
Again, you have to see, is the person genuinely trying but cannot because of habits? Yeah, you say,
Hmm.
hey, stop smoking. Yeah, you forgive one time, you stop smoking,
Hmm.
forgive because he's addicted.
Hmm.
You're forgiving, but easy because mm, he's not able to
Yeah.
fight against that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then you have to still see how you can help him while forgiving. That forgiveness continues. But
Hmm.
if the person is just exploiting your nature of forgiveness,
Yeah. Hmm.
then the point that we just said, na, that committing
Hmm.
sin and to be, what is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that comes
Cheated
in.
and to be cheating and to be. I mean,
Yeah.
cheating
When
is
we
not
really
good and
know
to be
that the
cheated.
person is
Hmm.
coming to cheat, and if
Hmm.
we say, yeah, okay, no,
Hmm.
I am not a fool, and if you just go there,
Hmm.
so yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So this is, I mean, I hope next week can be even um, nice session about forgiveness from a
Hmm.
devotee point of view,
Hmm.
how we should do because there are also nice references from Bhagavatam and other
Okay.
scriptures through which we can
Yeah.
understand, oh, should we also behave on this platform or do we want to really go above this platform and really um, do what devotees do?
Hmm.
Can.
Okay. Yeah, because sometimes forgiving is also it also comes with at the stake of your self-respect at times. So I
Hmm.
was just interested more into this. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji.
That self-interest itself is a very nice word. What is really our
Self-respect. Yeah.
self-interest? We have to,
Yeah.
yeah,
Self-respect, interest, whatever. Like
yeah,
at
yeah,
times, yeah, 5 times, 10 times, 15 times. Yeah. Okay. Just forgive it. Just forgive it. Just forgive it.
mhm,
But then
yeah,
it I mean, final point comes when it is about your self-respect. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Amanina mananina kirtaniya sadahari.
Mm.
Krishna is saying, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying,
Mm.
or we see usually there are so many sadhus, they don't
Mm.
even take offended. Yeah, we see in the
Mm.
case of Ambarish Maharaj,
Mm.
he was not offended. He said, "Hey, I didn't even feel that I am offended." Yeah.
Mm.
When
Right.
we are talking about self-respect,
Mm.
self-respect is something, a sense of feeling that I still am having false ego.
Mm.
Yeah. So when we keep the false ego aside and when we focus mainly on um, the job at hand to become a real devotee of the Lord. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Sometimes we what is our identity is very important in this regard. Yeah. I think self-respect itself can be a topic, but I'll very briefly tell who
Mm.
are you is a question.
Mm.
What would you say? Answer to it.
I am a soul traveling in this
Hmm.
journey of life to attain my, yeah, final destination.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in this life, maybe in next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will give answer what Arjuna said.
Mm.
He said that I am a disciple of my master Dronacharya.
Okay.
See, that identity is already it's not so important about I am a soul or not.
Mm.
The identity is more than that, where it is
Mm.
identity in regards to a relationship.
Mhm.
So usually when we say who am I, I'm still thinking that I'm a soul where we feel still think that I'm independent, part and parcel. No, we are still thinking part, not even
Mm.
parcel. But when we understand that I am part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or I am Krishna's, if that is my
Mm.
identity,
Mm.
then we have really understood who am I. It is not that what is nature. We are not talking about what is my nature. My nature is, as you said, Atma.
Mm.
But actually, the whole identity is I am the servant of the Lord.
Mm.
So when we have that identity, I don't know, should we really feel, I mean, anyway, we should still think about self-respect in proper way to discuss
Mm.
about that more uh, properly. But I'm
Yeah.
saying when we always think that, hey, I am the servant of the Lord and everyone is also servants of the Lord. So there is less disturbance that is called to our self-respect. Hmm.
Yeah.
Rather, if I identify myself that I am A or B or C, then we have a bigger challenge. Of course,
Mm.
we are A, B, and C, but what is the role of A, B, and C for my advancement?
Mm.
That
Yeah.
am I back? Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
Prabhuji.
So yeah, that's about that. Shweta Mataji. And yeah, Harinam Chintamani Mataji.
Sorry, may I share something quickly regarding what Mataji was saying from Mahatma Prabhu's forgiveness
Yeah, please.
seminar?
Mhm.
Um, like this generally, this understanding is when we forgive, that we kind of say it was okay what has happened. Yeah. But actually, it's not only from Mahatma Prabhu, it's just generally from like emotional intelligence coaching, that forgiveness actually it's more about that we come in peace with what has happened, but we don't say that the act was, that we don't also communicate to the person that the act was right. Forgiveness doesn't mean that it was okay that has happened, but it's more that it's not, because sometimes this grudge or these emotions, they're really, how to say, they are killing us. They are still in our system. And
Are you saying, I mean, I'm trying to understand, are you saying that though we have not come in terms with what happened, to acknowledge it or to accept it, but we just still say, hey, okay, nothing happened. Is that something you're saying?
oh no, that forgiveness does not mean if I say I forgive you, someone, or I forgive this what has happened. It means that we say the forgiving means it's okay, it has happened. It's that we, like Mataji was talking about, self-worth, that we kind of, I don't know, sorry, I'm not good in expressing this else. What I want to say, that if I forgive someone, it doesn't mean that I say it was okay what you have done. It means that actually it's more in my internal term, that I will not have this grudge inside me.
Mhm.
Because this is even, so it means the person has to still change. Like we still set the boundaries. Even if we forgive, we set the boundaries
Yeah.
further. But it's about because if we don't forgive, it's inside us. It's staying in the system. Also, Bhaktivedanta Goswami speaks about this emotional intelligence, because what we have inside us, our body is reacting biochemically. It's like more into details, but we can't really, if you don't forgive, you can't really chant in peace, and so on and so on. Do you know what I mean? At least a little.
I think, yeah. Thanks for bringing up this one element, which is telling that before we go to that level, there is also a journey through which we have to, settle our mind peacefully through accepting, yeah, uh, this is okay, and forgive genuinely. I think what you mentioned is about genuine forgiveness is uh, not to still artificially or superficially say have forgiven, but still remembering it and next time again, getting more affected by it, right?
Yes, like that. And also, even if we generally forgive, we don't say, oh, it was all right, it has happened. The act was not right. Sometimes you think, if I forgive, I kind of accept this act as it was okay. But it was not right. One has to still set the boundaries. I don't know.
Mhm.
If I forgive, it means, oh, you can do it again. For
I
example.
understand.
So it
Yeah, yeah,
means, no, I forgive you, but no more.
yeah,
Still there is the boundary.
yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
this, how you were saying, this internal thing,
So
this.
mm,
Mm-hmm.
maybe when I phrase it, what you're bringing here is that we are fine to let it go this time, but maybe we shouldn't have it happening again. So that is what you're saying, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Maybe they shouldn't have happened, or yeah.
yes. One has to exactly learn from that, and
Mm.
so
Yeah.
but the forgiveness is really also like really about us, that we don't, as you were saying, this genuine forgiveness, that we don't carry it further.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, we are reliving, and it's.
Yeah. I mean, with my limited understanding and experience, I see that it's not so difficult. mm, It's not so difficult to forgive, because if we identify ourselves very small, then it's not going to harm so much. If we identify ourselves big, the bigger we feel, the greater we feel, the challenge becomes bigger, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes,
Yeah.
anyway, this session 3 may also come up saying about feeling great about forgiving is also not good. Hey, I could forgive, yeah, just like, hey, I am great because I know that this guy did that mistake, that guy did this mistake. Everyone are doing all mistakes, but I'm forgiving. It's so great about me. But yeah, so in that way we can have sessions again only about forgiveness. But in simple terms, it is that uh, when one is in management or leadership role, I think like last week we were discussing, it's very important so that others people are saved. We should be very vigilant and make sure that, yeah, even um, it comes, yeah, we can be okay-ish if they are small things, but if it is bigger, then we should through the Shastra Chakshu, yeah, because we are devotee come Kshatriyas. If we are in that roles, we are not just only Kshatriyas but devotees, so we also have to be more sensitive in when executing that power.
Mm. Yeah, so very nice points.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna ji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, so Prabhuji, from the point of forgiveness, I think we discussed. Then Gaurbanga Prabhu asked one question about Prithviraj Chauhan. I think he forgave, I think maybe 18 times something. So
Mhm.
was it also based on Shastras or was it from his own mind?
From his own, from his own. Yeah. So the Shastras, yeah, if you say Hindu culture, this is what happens in today's world in India. If you see in the name of secularism, we are doing a lot of violence to Hinduism. Okay. What we are doing, we are allowing everyone to come invade us like anything. Hmm. We are thinking, no, 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 no. We are very open culture. When the time comes, we can hmm, save. If there is real need, yeah. But then until then, let to be tolerant and etc. So the sense of um, taking actions. Yeah, I remember reading in Ramayana the qualities of Lord Ramachandra, and when he is instructing to Bharat Maharaj how to rule in his absence, right, when he was in the forest, I think of remembering that no, Lord Ram is asking, hey, how are you doing, etc. And he is asking, and he is also telling, hey, as a king, you should be very um, um, quick. No, you should be very quick in settling cases. Yeah, it shouldn't be that each case can go for years. This is what happens in today, right? A case comes to district court, to high court, to Supreme Court, and each court takes its own time. By the time everything is gone, as you were already saying, right? That of what happens in the family, right? Huh? All these
Yeah.
things are happening because all opinions and all different ways of sorting out is happening not based on uh, the laws which are established, and the people are not able to follow or able to implement it. So sometimes now, out of compassion, this is what we were talking. This compassion uh, shouldn't be shouldn't become the weakness. Yeah.
So in case of Prithviraj Chauhan, yeah, it became his weakness, not this compassion, this forgiving every time.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Kshatriyas usually, yeah, mm, we see, especially from the Rajput families, we can see, they are very, very strong rulers, but also devotees. You see, I remember Kadamkanan Maharaj was mentioning, yeah, when he was explaining about Jaipur and the kings, and yeah, they also had a deal, right? I don't know, maybe you can tell me better, They had a deal that uh, Akbar has married a Hindu in exchange. Then there was an agreement. Hey, you guys don't attack us, and we are fine. When Muslims were invading like anything, yeah, um, there was this agreement between Islam and Rajputs that okay, um, yeah, let us live in peace and we will not attack you. Hmm? So these kind of things. So that can happen. So this is what one should be careful. And as I said, I mean, if I'm not wrong, there is this also this Chetak, was the horse that what was his name? Or I think he is Prithviraj only, na? Yeah, Prithviraj. Yeah, he had a horse.
Rana Pratap.
Rana Pratap, yeah. Rana Pratap also, yeah. Rana Pratap is at Udaipur, and Prithviraj Chauhan is from where? Proper. Yeah, these I studied when I was in school, so I don't remember very well. But yeah, getting the point.
Prabhuji, correct.
Mhm.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay, then thank you so much for your valuable time. Please forgive me for giving a long class on forgiveness. But as usual, these are very important things. If we want to have this divine qualities, they don't happen all of a sudden, one day manifest, right? So we have to understand the value of the scriptures. Yeah, that's the reason I'm just trying to bring this reference from Bhagavatam. Of course, it can again perplex us because we think that forgiveness is this, forgiveness is that. That's why with some Shastric reference, we can see, okay, how this quality is demonstrated in this pastime. When because our life we can have different cases at different times. It's not always same thing. Like it's not like pack of bread where every slice is cut same. Yeah, you look alike. No, yeah, everything changes. So for different cases, we need case studies to understand them, to apply them, and advance. Yeah, thank you very much. वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः वच पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
हरे
Thank you,
कृष्ण।
Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण।